Hello everyone. Um, this video is gonna be about showing you the AlphaSpark Trading Dashboard that we have now published, and it's basically going to be um, like a quick rundown of everything that it's in it, so that when you copy it to yourself, when you duplicate it to yourself, to your own Notion account, you have some sense of what it can do and what type of advantages can you get from it. Okay. So first of all, what is it? The trading dashboard is basically what started as a database for stuff like my setups, some of the PDFs that I read, some books that I read, and when I needed a place to start backtesting my strategies, um, I started developing what now is more of a journal than a backtesting system. Um, but of course, you know, a journal will serve the same purpose, right? So the idea here um, is basically that when you are trading, this dashboard is kind of like your companion and a way for you to keep track of everything that you're doing in terms of your mistakes, your best trades, um, maybe have some tags and filters for what uh, actually works best for you. And I think that's maybe the main purpose of it. So first of all, for anyone who might not be as knowledgeable about using Notion, um, there are some little tips that I can uh, give here, not exactly to the related to the dashboard, but to using Notion itself. Um, First of all, if you want to have it in dark mode, because I think the default is light. If you want to have it in dark mode, you have to come here to settings and members. If you don't have this a left side dashboard, there's these little arrows that lock the sidebar open and closed, and you're gonna have settings here, and you have to go to my settings and change the appearance here. It's the first option. I think it in default it's in light, so if you want to have it in dark, this is a way. Um, so the first time that you actually see this, you're going to be presented with this main page, and from here you have a left side menu that is present in 11 of these pages. Some quick actions if you don't want to, for example, if you are in any other of the pages but you want to input some new trades, notes, or whatever, you can put them straight from here. For example, these on the right side, these are just some things that I like to never forget on a day-to-day basis. And every time I start my trading day, I have my own checklist of things that I like to do in order to basically remind myself of where I am in terms of what the market is doing for each of the charts that I do technical analysis for. And these are just some of my favorite quotes. Again, to try and not forget some basic things, right? Then about journaling, you can create your entries right from here, from the main dashboard. And this is something that I like to keep track of. Basically, it's nothing more than a habit tracker. And down here, this is it's a website basically, but it's just embedded here. It's from tradingdigits.com. They actually have a bunch of cool tools if you want to check them out. Um, I like this just to get a feel for what's happening. I don't really base any of my trades or biases based on this, but it's nice to just come to the computer and, for example, switch to the 15-minute time frame here and just have a look at what it has already been doing. Where's the 50 and 200 EMA? Even though I don't trade them, but it's nice to see, you know, basically if we are in a trend or not, just to have a quick look. Some people might actually find this interesting to in terms of portfolio management and or trying to find any trades. I do know some people who, for example, in terms of spot trading, do, for example, having the idea of from the 4 hour to from the 1 hour to the 15 minute, um, have some levels marked out, and then if the two of them have EMAs coinciding, they think about trades or spot buys in this case. But other than that, I just like to look at it to get a feel for what's happening. So going into depth of how to actually open a trade and use everything that it's just on the dashboard, and then we'll go through each of the other pages. For you to open a new trade on your journal, you just have to click here on the new button, and a sidebar will appear. You can call it whatever you want. I suggest that you always do something based on the date and a dash number. So something like 2904 hashtag 1, for example. And here you can choose the session that you're in. This is, again, all of these are nice for you to then go into the journal page and check, for example, filter out every win that you have, in what market they were, under what conditions, how much could you have gotten, what was your best risk to rewards, stuff like that. And that way you can start to, again, going back to one of my favorite quotes, you can actually start understanding what works more, so that you do more of what works and less of what doesn't, right? But again, going into the trade, so let's say that you did an Asia trade, for example. Actually, let's do what we did today. We traded Asia on the BTC pair. Any option that is not that doesn't appear here, you can just like start writing. Let's say that you did ADA USDT. That's just it. You press enter and it becomes an option. If you want to remove that option, just have to come here and press delete. But so we did BTC. Our setup was basically based off fair value gap. So let's use that. The position was a short. The risk was 1%. The RR was, if I'm not mistaken, 5? Almost 5. We got out on the top of the breaker block, 486. Something like that. I'm not going to do any notes. Mistakes reviewed is just a personal option that I placed for myself. If I understand that I'm starting to do repeatable mistakes, I like to understand if I did go through them before getting into a trade or not. Basically, this is done very much on the fly, but in terms of journaling, it's interesting that you actually have a check for this or not. Because, for example, if I do an impulsive trade, obviously it's not going to be a trade with mistakes reviewed. So, for example, if I do a bunch of those and then have what I can see as a pattern of losses, repeated losses, maybe that's the problem, you know what I mean? So mistakes reviewed, yes, it was a win. I did it on my Equity Edge account. Again, you can create these, I'll show you how. And let's see, my entry was this price, TP was this, stop loss wasn't that high, actually. It was that high over there. So it's actually a 524, sorry. So 5.24. Okay, and then screenshots. For example, let's suppose that I want to do a screenshot of the whole setup and what I was looking at the time. I can download the image. It's on my transfer page, and now I come here. Oh, sorry, this is for links, but it can be for, it's set up as a link, but it can be a file. Okay, fixed. Come here, choose file, and it'll upload it there. This is the month. It's automatically detected by when you created, and my P&L was 206. So then I can come here. This is automatically populated, but you can come here, right click, press replace, upload file, and I can use the same. The advantage for this is essentially for when you go to, for example, if you want to check this as a gallery, it'll populate that with the screenshot that you selected. Okay. So basically, as you populate more and more of this, it's going to then be functional for situations like this. When you come here to journal, and this is your dedicated page for this. So give me a second. Okay, here we have the position list. In here, for example, you are able to come here to filter, for example, and choose every trade that showed up that was done, for example, during the Asia session. So it will only show you that one. If you have it on London, for example, it will obviously show you nothing right now. Okay, so this is the main advantage. You can add filters upon filters for you to try and, well, filter out the factors that you want to try and consider. If, for example, you're having a big number of losses and most of them are happening in New York, you can understand this by using these filters, right? Again, it's not functional if you don't use filters. Okay, so going back to the dashboard, that's it for entering trades. Just press the new button, that's it. The habit tracker, on the other hand, it's, again, you can decide any of these. These are just things that I like to try and do every day. For example, in this case today, it was actually a good day, except I didn't exercise. But everything else, it's okay. This guy doesn't belong here. I'm sorry. Fixed. So this will basically give you, again, it's just for you to have a notion of how well you are doing for each day, and then for each week, how many of these did you actually do well enough, right? So the news page is basically what the title says. I chose some embeds from TradingView and from investing.com. This is essentially more important if you actually trade either stocks, the indexes, or Forex in this case, essentially for you to be aware of red folders, right? In tools, I highly suggest you guys take a good look at each of these tools. All of them are here for a reason. Especially CoinAnk is a very nice, free, at least for now, free charting tool that allows you to see where liquidation levels are, limit orders, understand certain levels in terms of heat maps where can actually, a reaction may happen or not. And for example, this calc trade tool is a very nice tool to calculate position size if you do risk to reward based on your stop losses and your trading simulations on TradingView. So basically click each one of them if you don't know them. Take a look, they're all very interesting websites. Then here on the resources page, as time goes by, and if there's a significant add-on to this, I'll also update the website and email each one of my customers. Basically, these are some articles that I have been saving. This link over here, this is actually the trading strategy that I use the most, and it's basically a method for reversals. I am going to include new videos and everything, but for that, it's probably actually better for you guys to follow my YouTube channel. Then the book tracker here, I actually have some PDF files that you can check out. You can actually download them from here to your computer and take a look at them. These are things that I actually read. This book is actually a book that I own. I'm not going to say that it's exactly because of this that you're going to be profitable. However, there are very, very interesting concepts and theories here. Wyckoff 2.0 actually has some methods, and The Way of the Turtle is also a very interesting book. If you are actually, if you don't know Richard Dennis, for example, this is actually a very interesting book for you to check out. Then we get into a little bit of more personal stuff. So a task tracker is basically that, a task tracker. If you have, for example, personal projects that you want to accomplish, you can create tasks here the same way that you do the journaling, and you can create any kind of property that you feel like doing. If you never use Notion, this is probably the most advantageous feature about Notion, is that you can create your own task manager. You don't really need to depend on some kind of a template. So, for example, if you're a social media manager, or I don't know, if you own a restaurant, for example, let's say, you can actually create properties here based on items, for example, your stock, any other things. You can create a team here, and for example, you can have a property that is actually a person. For example, if you have more people on your Notion team space, and when you add tasks, they will automatically be notified. There's a lot of options here. I'm gonna delete that because this is a public version. And so this is pretty much a very personal thing. Then the habit tracker is basically the dedicated page that I already showed you, and the goals is basically the same thing as the task tracker, but for goals. These are just things that you can set up for yourself in terms of milestones that you want to accomplish. But you can also use it as kind of a task tracker as well. Then finally, here on the backtesting page, this is essentially a dedicated space just for backtesting. It has basically the same kind of setup that we use for the trading. Oh, by the way, I forgot to explain this little detail. You can see that profits here says minus 0.06. This is based on fees, but you can change this by clicking edit formula, and all it's doing is doing this formula minus this percentage. If you want to remove this, that's okay. I left that there just because of the percent that exchanges generally take away from you. but it'll try to calculate that based on the risk that you do and the RR, right? Totally optional. I wouldn't mind it very much. And I guess that is it. So if you purchase this product, if you have any kind of doubts, the best way to contact me and ask for help would be to join our Discord. Let me just delete this before I forget. Join our Discord, add me, or send me a DM, and I'll try to, be as quick as possible in answering any question that you guys might have. But other than that, this is pretty much it. I am generally available every day on Discord. If not, the next day at most, I'll answer any question that you might have. So if you actually already did purchase this product, thank you very much for your support. I hope to see you on Discord anyway. We do live trading sessions, well, pretty much every day except Saturday. Even Sundays, we generally do some TA to prepare for the week. So you're very much welcome, and I hope to see you guys there. See you soon. Till next time.